Some amusement parks in England are also welcoming visitors from tomorrow, but what does socially distanced fun look like? We sent John to find out.
Visitors for the first time in months.
Breakfast John Maguire is at Thorpe Park, very famous amusement park. What's tickling you, John?
That's tickled you, hasn't it, John? I mean, it was a stupid question of mine, wasn't it, really?
It was just that, no. No elaboration, that was it, no.
Sometimes you're just going to be honest about these things. So, John, we're on a balancing act today, aren't we? Because alongside every opening of very different premises, there is a word of caution. Some people, frankly, will be looking at where you are today and thinking, there is no way I'm going to go to an amusement park. Others will be thinking, absolutely, but I want to know what precautions are in place.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that characterises this weekend, Charlie and Naga, doesn't it? Morning to you, that balance of getting back to normal, having some fun, hopefully, but doing so responsibly. It sounds as if we're being a bit nanny state to a certain extent, but the pandemic is still very much alive, as we all know. We're at Thorpe Park, as you say, surrounded by fantastic roller coasters. We're going to have a little spin in a minute, so we'll see how that goes. But yes, they have done a lot of work. The preparation for reopening, of course, started pretty much on the day they closed, more than 100 years ago. Neil Poulter, good morning to you. Is that right? Has it taken that long to try and work out the systems? When you open tomorrow, what will people see that's different?
Morning. We've been working very hard since the day we closed our doors in March, and we are ready to go. We've put lots of additional measures in place to reassure our guests that we're ready to welcome them back to Thorpe Park Resort, such as social distancing on our rides, enhanced cleaning, temperature checks at the front of house, pre-booked tickets only, but also asking our guests to wear the mask on the ride as well.
And capacity-wise, you might have something like 10,000 people here on a busy day. What are your numbers going to be? Where have you capped them at?
We've capped our numbers, very low to ensure that we reassure our guests. So we're operating around, probably 40% of a normal busy day here, and all of that's relative. So we've obviously reduced the capacity on our rides to adhere to social distance and follow those government guidelines.
And you've got parks around the world, so if you like, there was a blueprint that was almost ready for you.
Absolutely. Merlin Entertainments operate attractions all around the world, and we've had the benefit of that shared best practice from how we operate. So we've reopened businesses in Australia, New Zealand, the Far East and Europe. So yes, we've learned and we're ready to go.
OK, well, I'm ready to go too.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Neil. Good to see you. You're going to have to wear a face mask when you go on the ride, perhaps very obviously because people will be screaming. And I'm sure... Morning, Ross. Morning, Michael. How are you? I'm sure, I'm going to be screaming as well. So this is Stealth. It's based on a motor racing circuit, so I've got the lights up in front of me here. Fastest roller coaster in the UK. It'll do 80 miles an hour, 0 to 80 in 1.8 seconds, and I think I'm about to experience that now. So you may or may not be able to hear me scream. As you take off, the camera takes your photo. Here we go. Red lights on. When the red lights go off, it's green light, and then we are ready to ride.
Look.
You feel every bit of that. Oh, we go down. And it seems to stop as quickly as it takes off. So you get that incredible acceleration at the beginning. That incredible acceleration at the beginning of the ride. You sort of feel as if your stomach is pushed into the back of your chest, travels down your spine, right down to the bottom of your spine, and then it shoots back up again as you get to the top of the arch, 205 feet high. And then your stomach goes right back down again as you scream down the bottom side. I almost swallowed my face mask. It's a shame you're not supposed to touch your face, really, because I think I'd have my head in my hands by now.
Oh, well, your hair, without you telling us what you'd just been through, which, by the way, we sat here and I screeched for you, your hair tells the story at the moment, John, because that...
Is it still there? Is it still on my head?
Just about. It's there. But well done. And you're doing it again in the next hour, so anyone who missed it, get it.
Different one next hour, I think.
John, thanks very much. It's interesting, isn't it? It's lovely seeing a bit of normal in a way, isn't it? A few images we're showing this morning. It's like Ben, who's in a pub. And there's a little bit of normal. And alongside all of that, of course, we are emphasising this morning those people who are less content with, the speed at which things are opening up. And those questions. Time now is 8:47. So you were this morning talking a lot about things that are opening, things that are changing. And this morning, our reporter, John Maguire, I think is like a kid in a sweet shop, because he is one of those people. If you love theme parks, right, well, you always say, wouldn't it be nice to have the place to yourself?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice?
No queues.
They open tomorrow, along with other things. And John Maguire is at Thorpe Park for us this morning. It's all yours, right, John? Is that right? It's just you and a whole bunch of rides?
Just me and some sophisticated equipment that hopefully will show you live pictures of me screaming, although of course I will be wearing a face mask, so you might be able to hear me screaming, but you won't necessarily see me. You talk about queues, I suppose theme parks are famous for them. Yellow spots, of course, because they will be doing social distances. They're going to cap the numbers as well that'll be here tomorrow. We're here on a ride called The Swarm, which is based on the idea of an alien invasion. So look at this, we're in a sort of a bombed out church, and there are lots of different upturned vehicles, lorries, etc., as if the aliens have caused havoc, and that's going to be our alien spaceship that we're about to depart on. Helen Bull, good morning to you, Helen. Obviously looking forward to getting the doors open tomorrow, as I say, running at half capacity just to make sure we've got the social distancing. What's it going to be like for guests arriving tomorrow?
Good morning. Well, first of all, we're absolutely delighted to be opening our doors tomorrow after 3 long months and doing what we do best, which is giving fantastic, memorable days out to people. There will be a number of new enhanced measures for people to keep them safe. Obviously, health and safety is our number one priority. So some of the new things will be pre-booking only, making sure that people pre-book. Also, temperature checks on arrival for guests. But also, there'll be a number of measures in place that people are perhaps used to, more of the social distancing measures as well.
And you've had dry runs in as much as you have theme parks internationally, and so some of those have already opened. You've got used to some of the systems.
Absolutely. Merlin's had a number of its attractions opening throughout the globe, New Zealand, Australia, China, for example, and also some of our parks in the grounds in the UK. So we've been able to learn from that and adjust our procedures, which is something I'm sure that we're going to have to do on a daily basis, really, as we see how people react to the new measures.
And briefly, Helen, I mean, as with any business, if you're running at half capacity, can you still make money?
Absolutely. We are obviously looking at our costs on a daily basis. But yes, we're really pleased to be opening our doors again and doing what we do best, which is giving those fantastic, memorable days out to people on our thrilling world-class roller coasters.
All right, shall I give it a road test?
Absolutely.
Shall I give it a fly? Okay, you are going to need to wear face masks when you go on these rides. So that needs to be applied properly. I'm sitting here, our friend here, Thomas. Morning, Thomas. Who's going to make sure that I'm strapped in nice and safe and sound. The ride that we went on this morning was a real it's adrenaline fueled, I can tell you. You feel as if your stomach's about to burst out of your chest. This one doesn't go as fast. We've got 28 people on here. They will be able to fill it up because, of course, there are quite large gaps in between, and we've got our cameras rigged up on the front of the ride here as well. So I think we're ready to go. Thumbs up. Wish me luck. Anything could happen in the next minute and a half, I suppose. As I say, 28 capacity on here. We're going to go up to a height of about 125 feet. See you in a mo. Joining us, I think, probably on this other camera here. Different to the last ride that we were on this morning on Stealth, which is over the other side of the park, and that one absolutely fired you up at 80 miles an hour, 1.8 seconds it took to get to 80 miles an hour. This one's a bit more like the old-fashioned roller coasters, you know, with the clickety-clack as you go up to reach the highest point. I think we're at the highest point almost now. You get a wonderful view, I must say, and of course you get the sense really nice and calm, what really go wrong, and then all of us.
What on earth is
The only
happening
roller
now?
Woohoo!
Okay.
Go around again. They're taking my photo, but they can't see me scream. Around in a helicopter here. Getting thrown around.
See if John can actually do a report throughout this ride, but it's too wicked.
Hopefully you can still see me. Man, this is good fun. Oh, upside down again, and around, like a corkscrew. Oh. We're out on the side. As I was saying, this is the only winged roller coaster in the UK, so the only one where the people, if you're riding on board, sit on either side, but that was really, really good fun, I must say. It's been a real challenge to get these theme parks ready to go. We were discussing it this morning, the fact that really ever since lockdown happened 100 days ago,
John?
the preparation started to get the doors open, the gates open again for this morning.
John?
But being part of an alien invasion over the Surrey countryside, that was fun.
John, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
Just so you know what you've just put your body through, okay? So you've reached, you might have said, that thing, the swarm, the winged roller coaster, reaches speeds of 57 miles per hour, okay? But your body has experienced 4.5 times the force of gravity. How are your legs, and what did you have for breakfast?
Well, it's a good job you were almost about to find out what I had for breakfast, I think. And I must say, well done to Andy Mack on our sound desk for sitting next to the bleep machine, because I was worried about a few expletives coming forward on breakfast this morning. Yeah, great fun. I mean, you know, if you love roller coasters like we know Charlie does, it'll be great news for
How are
many
your
people
legs?
that these theme parks are back open in England tomorrow.
How are your legs? A little bit
well,
jellyish?
we'll see. I've got to get out of the park yet.
Well, as you well know, John,
Oh, that's good fun.
you always have my respect, but you've gone way up in my estimation. I think it was seamless. It was what, a minute 50 of seamless broadcasting whilst going through that terrifying ordeal. I'm full of respect.
Do you actually like roller coasters, John?
Not now.
There you go. Well done, John. Thank you. Thank you. Genuinely, thank
See you later.
Let's see, 8:53. We're very much on the theme.